I never believed that haunted houses existed. Old houses creak, pipes rattle, people imagine things, especially when they're tired. That's what I always told myself. Then I met Carmen. My friend Gloria had been caring for her 93-year-old mother for several years. It wasn't a situation anyone would envy. Growing up, Gloria had suffered through a childhood most people would struggle to imagine. Her mother had treated her like an unwanted burden. The insults were constant, the punishments were worse. By the time Gloria was 15, her mother had thrown her out of the house in the middle of the night and told her never to come back. For decades, they barely spoke. Then everything changed. After a devastating fall and hip surgery, doctors informed the family that Carmen could no longer live alone. None of Gloria's 6 siblings stepped forward. Not one. Faced with the possibility of a nursing home, Carmen suddenly turned to the daughter she'd spent a lifetime hurting. And Gloria said yes. Maybe she hoped for reconciliation. Maybe she wanted the mother she never had. Whatever the reason, she opened her home. It turned out to be a mistake. Carmen remained as cruel as ever. The only difference was that now she depended entirely on Gloria. Then came the Alzheimer's diagnosis. And that's when the strange things started. At first, Carmen complained about people entering her room at night. Not shadows, not noises. People. She claimed they stood around her bed talking while she tried to sleep. She would storm into Gloria's room at 3 in the morning, furious and terrified. "Where are they?" she'd scream. "Where are you hiding them?" Doctors blamed dementia. Hallucinations were common, they said. But one particular visitor appeared so often that Carmen described her the exact same way every time. A little girl, around 5 years old, blue dress, dark ponytails, always smiling, always giggling. The girl would stand silently beside Carmen's bed, staring at her. When Carmen asked what she wanted, the child would simply laugh, then run. Sometimes she hid behind furniture, sometimes inside the closet, but no matter where she went, Carmen said she could still hear her giggling in the darkness. Honestly, I assumed it was part of the disease, until I visited. One evening, Gloria invited me over for dinner. Carmen seemed surprisingly cheerful that day. We sat together in the living room while Gloria prepared food in the kitchen. Across from us was Carmen's bedroom. The door stood partially open. As Carmen talked, I happened to glance toward the room. That's when I saw it. Something moved fast, so fast that I almost convinced myself I hadn't seen it at all, but I knew I had. A small figure darted across the bedroom, just a blur, a flash of blue. My heart nearly stopped. I remember sitting frozen, staring into the darkness beyond the doorway. Nobody else reacted. Not Gloria, not Carmen, only me. I forced myself to stay calm. I told myself it was a trick of the light, a reflection, anything else. Dinner came and the feeling slowly faded. Then I started hearing voices. Not clear voices, just faint murmurs, whispers, the kind that sound like people speaking from another room. I looked around the table. Did someone leave the TV on? Gloria shook her head. No. The murmuring continued, soft, indistinct, just beyond hearing. I couldn't make out a single word, yet somehow it sounded like several people talking at once. The noise seemed to be coming from Carmen's bedroom, and no one else appeared to notice. The conversation at the table continued normally. Meanwhile, every nerve in my body screamed that something was wrong. When dinner ended, I grabbed my things and headed for the front door. I was halfway out when I heard it. A child laughing. Not outside, not down the street. Inside the house, close, very close. The sound was crystal clear, a little girl's giggle. Playful, happy. Wrong. I froze. The laughter lasted only a second or two before stopping abruptly. Silence swallowed the house. I slowly turned toward Gloria. She was standing only a few feet away. She looked completely normal, completely unaware, as if she hadn't heard anything. I wanted to ask, I wanted to tell her, but something about that laugh made the words die in my throat. So I left. A few days later, Gloria called me. As usual, she was venting about her mother's latest accusations. Then she mentioned the little girl, the same one Carmen always described. I listened carefully as Gloria repeated the details. Blue dress, dark ponytails, always laughing, always hiding. Every word made my blood run colder, because that was exactly what I'd seen, exactly what I'd heard, and I had never told anyone about the figure in the bedroom, not even Gloria. To this day, I still don't know what happened in that house. Maybe Carmen's dementia somehow planted the image in my mind. Maybe stress and suggestion made me imagine everything. Maybe. But I still remember that flash of blue crossing the room. I still remember the whispers, and I still remember that giggle. Sometimes late at night, I'll think about Carmen lying awake in that dark bedroom, staring into the corner where the little girl supposedly stood, waiting, watching, giggling. And the part that frightens me most isn't the possibility that Carmen was hallucinating. It's the possibility that she wasn't. Because if the little girl was real, why did only Carmen and I see her? And why did it feel like she wanted us to?